broadcaster will host all games in the match. Only official streamers may connect to a game as an observer. Inviting someone to observe a match without permission from a tournament official will result in a warning. Each subsequent warning that a player receives will result in the forfeit of the game.
Oh, well. Game's starting. They said okay, so we proved it right.
Oh,
so we are getting started here.
Beautiful. This is
Impulse versus Future Talent. Go, and then I'll do intros. Talk a little bit, and then I'll do intros.
Oh,
or are you doing
sorry, I was making some crowd noises, you know. So this is Future Talent versus Impulse. This is a very important game on the brackets because if Impulse is mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, however, Future Talent has a beautiful chance. All they have to do is win this match. If they win this match, they are automatically into the qualifiers, automatically into the playoffs. However, if they lose, they must hope that Clan Overdosed loses to Area 51. But if Clan Overdosed loses, Future Talent will win the tiebreaker. So, Pyronia, tell us who the players are.
So, let's go ahead and get jumping right into this game. Over here in the bottom left-hand corner of GSL Daybreak, we have Impulse Esports' very own FTaCT, spawning as Protoss, his choice. And his opponent, starting us off for this nice PvP, is Future Talent Sensei. So, don't know much about these guys. Sensei does obviously mean teacher in Japanese. It's actually the title that you add to the end. So, technically, he is the teacher over Future Talent there. Although normally you can't refer to yourself as Sensei. There you go. So, interesting little fact. Never call yourself Sensei.
Oh, it's like bad manners?
Yeah, people ask you and call you Sensei, but if you're like, hey, I'm Pyronia Sensei, which I was, yeah, it's quite rude and chauvinistic of you. Interesting. There you go.
So we've already got bad manners going on in this game, and it just started.
Japanese culture lesson for you there, guys. If you ever go to Japan, I just saved you some embarrassment, so, you know. And I do recommend you go to Japan. But yes, so if you're just joining us, I am Pyronia with RHGaming.com, and with me is Quaffle over at Impulse, correct?
For sure, absolutely.
And if you are joining us for the first time at the ISTL, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us. We will be back on Thursday as well, same time, same place. And we'll have another another round of games there. So it's definitely shaping up to be a great season so far, and this is the last normal week, and then we go into playoffs, correct?
It sure is. This is kind of the crunch time, as I explained, for Future Talent right now. Impulse is mathematically out of it, but they're looking to be that upset team. Clan Overdose, I'm sure, is watching this right now and rooting for FTaCT at the moment.
Yep, I bet so. All right, and as far as the game goes, nothing terribly exciting yet. Both players are just trying to get rid of those scouting probes and starting their workgate research.
Yeah, it looks like FTaCT is going with a pretty standard 3-stalker rush. He's got both his gateways up. Depending on, usually FTaCT really loves the Stargate into Robotech. I'm not too sure about Sensei over here. It looks like he's going to go for a fast warp gate. I like to think. A fast 4 gate. And it looks like one more gate goes down. And I would expect at least some kind of tech coming up because you cannot live in a PvP off of 2 gateways.
Yeah, I would definitely expect to see something now that they've sort of both gotten their scouts out of the way. Things did look quite similar. So they're both running the 2 gates, but yeah, I'm expecting to see some sort of tech here momentarily. So if you have a Sentry coming out, and there is that Stargate there for FTaCT, so you were absolutely right there.
Yeah, and he most likely will get about 3 to 4 Phoenix and throw down a robotics facility after maybe halfway through the second one is producing and kind of get an observer or go Immortals depending on what he sees.
Ooh, and so we do have a robotics facility, not terribly uncommon for Sensei, but we have a robotics facility as well for FTaCT. So, he's definitely pushing the tech quite heavily here.
That was a pretty fast robotics facility. He throws it up as he builds the first Phoenix, but it's a rather safe build. Just getting his warp gates now. Both players finishing up their warp gates. And Sensei is still sitting on 2 gates in a robotics facility. I'm not... Oh, and he expands. The Phoenix is going to scout this, and I expect FTaCT to try to do some really heavy pressure early on. Try to break this.
Yeah, I guess he must just feel quite safe to go ahead and drop that Nexus. I don't know if he's as safe as he thinks he is, but we'll see. And that is scouted.
Ooh, oh.
Phoenix should live. All right,
Yep.
so just actually no hull damage there, just shield damage.
Yep, very good. Sensei does
Really
have
good.
that sentry out. Is
Yep.
going to save him.
So it looks like his response is to go ahead and drop a expansion as well. So he'll try to be staying on an economic lead. And if we take a peek at worker count here, so we've got 28 workers to 25. So FTaCT is a little bit ahead as far as income goes, which will help him out a little bit since his expansion is slightly delayed.
Yeah, and I like the choice that he did. He's not using his robotics facility at all. Just now making that observer. You know, even though you make a building doesn't mean you have to use it. This was a reactionary play by FTaCT. Usually in a PvP, the non-Stargate player will most likely be aggressive or try to throw down some cannons and something like that. It's kind of unusual to see such a fast Nexus, so it was a good reaction by FTaCT there.
Yep, and those Phoenixes are going to be quite denied.
Ooh.
He's got, looks like they might get a few probe kills over here. Those Stalkers were a little bit out of position. They were over at the main. And 3 Phoenixes can really do a lot of damage quite quickly. He's got up to 4. So that's just going to be frustrating. So Sensei's reaction is here to make sure to get Blink. That's going to help make that harassment a little bit less possible. But, if he starts pushing Immortals or something... it's really very effective to have just a couple Phoenixes around to lift out those Immortals and negate them, but it doesn't look like we're seeing that. It looks like we're really just seeing primarily Blink Stalkers here.
Yeah, and it's pretty good defense, though his reaction is a little bit slow. These Phoenix are really doing really good job of harassing, kind of picking up probes as they get enough energy to do stuff, and then OBS is now over here, so FTaCT knows exactly what Sensei is doing, while Sensei has very, very little vision. He's got an observer of his own, but he hasn't scouted too much of FTaCT. Hasn't even gone up to scout the main at all. Just kind of sitting out there to watch to see if he moves out.
Yep, nice little proxy pylon going down over here for FTaCT, so that's just going to give him a little bit of, more mobility on the other side of the map, and he can definitely go and do sort of a ninja stealth attack over here on the 3rd when the 3rd does drop, if he so chooses. But yeah, he's getting great information and a decent number of kills on these Phoenixes. 1, 3, and 5. So yeah, definitely those Phoenixes have paid off. And, more than anything, it's just really obnoxious. You either have to keep units everywhere behind every mineral line, or you have to get static defense versus mobile defense. So, static defense is a little bit older of a term, maybe more of a Brood War term, I guess. And it basically means things like cannons and turrets, defense that doesn't move, as compared to units which can move and be mobile.
Yeah, and FTaCT is using these Phoenix so well, even picking up probes that try to leave to scout. It looks like one probe is going to try to get out here and scout, but there is a Phoenix with a graviton beam, and most likely going to pick up this probe right now. Yep, there it goes. Great.
And it looks like we're going to be having the transition over here from Sensei into Charge Archon. So his charge is very close to finishing, and he has those Archons up. And looks like we are going to be having the same tech switch over here for FTaCT as well.
Oh, wow. Even using those Phoenix to pick off another probe that wants to... He really wants to put up a forward pylon. He's even sending out another probe here. And FTaCT's doing a great job, kind of delaying any type of push, getting all the economic advantages he can. He's actually stopped at 44 probes for a while now, pumping out some Immortals and just pumping out more Zealots of his own. And he's even got Templar Archives down and Charge on the way. So he's going to have the same type of tech route as Sensei, but obviously Sensei does not have these Phoenix that are doing so much right now.
Yeah, those
Ooh.
Phoenix really very useful. Oh, is he going to get
Oh
that one?
man.
5 hit points left, and looks like we are preparing for a little bit of a battle here with
Yeah.
Sensei coming out, but
Oh
some of
wow.
those forward pylons getting knocked down right away.
Yeah. And this is a little bit risky by Sensei. Had FTaCT known that he probably could have pushed those stalkers back a little bit more.
Yep, so as far as units go, so we've got 3 Immortals in the mix here. No Archons yet for FTaCT. I wouldn't be surprised to see some once he gets those Templars up. Unfortunately, you can't lift off those Archons. That'd be nice, but...
Right. Oh, and lots of High Templar coming in now. He's going to make 2 Archons. Oh, did a little bit of miscalculation with the Templar Warpin. That's one useless Templar. It's going to come up here and say, "What's up, guys? Can I feedback anything?" I guess
All
not.
right, and here we go. So we've got the Zealot on Zealot action up there at the front. Some nice lift-offs of some of those Stalkers in the back. And this is going to be a quite commanding lead there, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful micro by FTaCT there. Focusing down the Stalkers with these Immortals. Bad blink by Sensei, kind of blinking to the side, trying to pick off Immortals, but also kind of blinking into a bunch of Zealots as well.
Yeah, really just overall great play from FTaCT there. Oh, for some reason we cannot see the map, but it was about 10, or those graphs there, but it was about 10,000 points different in the score there. And, always throughout, even quite early on, there was just a nice income advantage that FTaCT had over Sensei. So, unfortunately, Sensei was not the teacher of that game. FTaCT was the winner. But, it was just a little bit of a build order loss, I think, and he didn't do nearly enough to negate those Phoenixes.
Oh, yeah. FTaCT definitely took Sensei to school on that game. Just the Phoenix control, it's so important when you make Phoenix to be active with them, and he made full use of them, always keeping Sensei alert. Sensei couldn't react fast enough for those speedy Phoenix, and then every time a probe tried to come out and scout, it'd get picked off, and that push that he wanted to... you could see that Sensei wanted to push earlier, but those probes just kept getting picked off, So he couldn't put up a forward pylon, and as Protoss, if you don't have a forward pylon, your attacks aren't going to go very well. So it was well delayed.
Yep. And I think that, even though his tech was a little bit ahead of FTaCT's each time, the tech time wasn't that different, because by the time he actually went out there to attack, the tech was evened up. And I really like those Immortals in the mix. It was just sort of a nice little buffer there. It made those, gave some tanking and some more soaking up damage for the Zealots. Made them a little bit stronger, and then just Graviton beaming some of those key units. Yeah, it was a really nicely chosen strategy. So Future Talent down 0-1 after threatening the all kill. So they will not be doing an all kill there. We will see who they put out. I'd be surprised to see another PvP. I'd be expecting Terran or a Zerg, because that was pretty solid PvP. A little bit older style there. You don't see the Phoenix quite as much as you did maybe, I don't know, a couple months ago, but...
We actually saw... There was actually a PvP in the recent IPL that one of the Protoss used that Phoenix Immortal push, kind of brought it back. It had that very popular period, like you said, but kind of went out of style as people learned how to defend against it. But he won, by the way. But that was it. I have no other facts on that one.
All right, and so in the meantime here, let's just talk a little bit. So you guys are doing some giveaways during the finals, correct?
Sure are.
Tell us about this.
Oh, would you like to know?
Yes, I would love to know.
So, this is what you got to do. All right? Well, let me tell you what you can win first. We are giving away... Actually, I'm not too sure what we're actually giving away, but we're definitely giving away some gaming stuff here. And we're also giving away some free coaching from the top Impulse players, such as FTaCT that you just watched. And there are some requirements to winning some of this gaming things and the free coaching. You must be subscribed to our Facebook, which is impulse underscore esports. Actually, there's no underscore in that one. Well, you can see how on top of the game I am. So Impulse Esports for Facebook, and be following on Twitter at IMP underscore esports. And our beautiful media guy, Reed, that guy updates everything perfectly. It's awesome. He could be tweeting right now, actually. Let's check it out. As we both like blank man.
Are you
No.
tweeting? Do we see any tweeting?
Don't. Joker's tweeting.
Joker is tweeting.
Jinx
Awesome.
is tweeting.
I tweeted. You can follow me on Twitter. I am at Pyronia. I was tweeting.
I wasn't tweeting, but you can follow me too at TravCurt, TravCurt. And I don't do too much. I don't try to promote my Twitter much because all I do is read other people's Twitter. That's what I use it for. Oh, you know this other awesome app I downloaded the other day? Draw Something. Have you heard of this?
Yes, I have actually.
Isn't it amazing? I am 100% addicted.
It's not necessarily my cup of tea. Although
Oh.
one of my students today did show me the best app, and unfortunately I think it's not for the Android market. It must be only for iPhones. It's called Songify. So you say something and it
Yeah.
makes it into like a little rap or something. It was quite awesome. I was very entertained by that.
Yeah, that's from the Gregory Brothers from YouTube, the Songify app where they auto-tune you. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful app as well.
It was quite entertaining.
In your windows, snatching your people up. That's what it's from.
So, let's see here. Hopefully they are getting their future talent is deciding who they want to send up. My opinion is probably that they're going to be sending up some sort of beastly player after getting sort of the game quite handily taken last time around. I would not be surprised to see that.
Yeah, FTaCT showed a brilliant display of knowledge in the PvP there, and excellent Phoenix control. Perhaps they'll send a Protoss out there and try to Forgate. Forgate absolutely crushes any type of Stargate opening, but it's kind of metagamey. FTaCT could do a defensive for something, an anti-Forgate build, and then absolutely crush the Forgater. So that's quite a risky maneuver. You know, as FTaCT, I don't want to pick into his mind at all, but for me, I probably wouldn't do a Stargate opening in another PvP.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. And as far as just info about these players, neither of them really have too much going on as far as records. I guess the season just rolled over, but you know, it doesn't look like Sensei has actually played any games yet this season. FTaCT has a little bit more, and he was top 25 Masters last season. FTaCT has 5 games played, so he has been playing a little bit. So it just rolled over today, right? Just started the new season?
Yes, it did. FTaCT was actually attended MLG this past MLG.
Exciting.
And he lost, unfortunately, he lost to Stefano in the second round of the open bracket.
Hey, nothing to be ashamed of there,
No,
you know?
Nothing at all.
He was actually in Liquid Red's Masters bracket.
Oh, was he?
Currently he is. Liquid Red is currently number 3 in his bracket there.
Oh, so he might have a chance to face Liquid Red this season. That'd be really great PvZ practice.
Let's see who else is in there. Dragon.
Marine is tweeting. He just said Impulse up 1-0 over FTaCT.
Wonderful.
I don't know why I always say E at the end. And I don't know why. It's always like FTaCT. FTaCT. I don't know how I ever want to say that. So I just say future talent. I don't even know why I try to say their hyphenated word.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange hyphenated word, actually. Like, it's definitely not common sense. I had to think about that one for a while.
Like, where does the AC come in? Future talent.
Talent. Talent.
Okay, there's the A. Where's the C come in?
I don't know.
Oh, all right.
I don't know. Tactful? Tact? Future tact? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Your guess is as good as
Future
mine.
Talent Art Control Team.
Arts control team?
Art?
That, like
That's
Future
correct.
Talent.
drawing and painting?
Oh, cool.
Future Talent Art Control Team.
That's quite the name.
It's a long name. I like it though.
Imagine
All right.
trying to fit that on a shirt. You'd have
It'd
to have
be
a
pretty long.
really big person.
Well, I can check that off my today list. Learning something new. Just learned something new today. Very nice. Ooh, Entombed Valley. Is this on the map pool? Question mark.
It is.
Oh,
We've actually been seeing this quite a bit. Definitely seems like it's a little bit more of a popular map choice. It's not as common. I think that it's one of the maps that isn't played as much, especially in tournaments, things like that. Sort of like, there's a couple just really weird oddball maps that just end up in map pools occasionally. And this one I think hasn't gained quite as much popularity as some of the newer ones like Core Hall, and things like that.